point since the heady days in Zurich 14 years ago, when he had published 3 papers in 1 year, each one destined to change the face of 20th century science.
You used to say you were sorry you had to leave me at home with the children when you went interstate.
Einstein was to become, after the publication in 1916 of his general relativity theory, one of the greatest scientists of all time. The proof came on September the 27th, 1919, at Principe in West Africa. The displacement was exactly as Einstein had predicted.
As you may have noticed, the children have been gone for some years.
Was in fact a curve shaped by gravity.
What do you think I do with myself when you're away so often?
Which were behind the edge of the sun.
I don't know, Beth.
Einstein found himself the most famous scientist in the world. He had thrown down the challenge
do I care?
of classical physics and had settled it in a single experiment.
Boring. Ditto. About time they did him in the paperback.
Are you sure you wouldn't like me to drive you to the airport?
No, thank you. I've got to pick up the reports. I'll get a taxi from the university. You're probably right. I should give up these junketings.
You ought to be getting on with your book.
Can't see that I'm going to be terribly useful. I know as much about film funding as they know about philosophy.
I'm sure you'll be very valuable here in every word you utter. But they'll probably think you're an old fogey.
Very wifely and supportive of you.
I didn't say you are an old fogey. I said they might think you're one. There's a world of difference.
You expect me on Thursday.
Bye-bye.
I wish she'd take up painting again. She was much happier when she was daubing all the time. Of course, I don't blame her for trying to keep me at home, but I will not be confined. No. Husband, father, grandfather. Life is not a vale of tears. No, we are here to have a jolly good time. I know my way around. Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth. Not forgetting Brisbane, of course. My coastal club of happy familiar places inhabited by a freewheeling intelligentsia, of which I am a founding member.
Dear Master, the thought that I shall see you next week makes me very happy. I think you must know by now that you are the person to whom I can most freely say what is in my mind and heart. Please let's have a little time together. There are a million things I want to discuss. Love and lust. Dinah. P.S. Do you think there's a streak of the intellectual playboy in you?
Dinah. Tonight, dinner.
What's the Women's Film Collective working on next?
Bonjour, John.
Morning.
G'day. The Sci-Fi Code.
Morning, John.
Not another sapphic ode. Oh, dear.
Totten! Have you met Anne Turtle?
He certainly has. I was once a very junior member of his philosophy department.
Not so junior, old girl.
She's come a long way since then, eh, Dorton? Our foremost female film critic. Try saying that when you're pissed.
She has no claim on me. She ended our relationship years ago.
I don't think Dorton's terribly impressed.
Oh, I don't know. Philosophy tutor to film critic. Praiseworthy metamorphosis.
Then we'll make a film on domestic violence.
Called?
Domestic violence.
God, I hate liberated women.
Well, why?
They're so unappetizing. I like very young, very soft, very tasty girls, and they don't need to be able to think.
Not surprised your wife left you. I love them. Not all of them, of course. I don't pretend to understand them, but I'm working on it.
What we should be doing is buying up viable national film properties.
Should be encouraged before the Americans get onto them.
If I see another woman pouring cups of tea on television, I think I'll scream.
Nothing about social justice, Aboriginals or women.
Oh, this is very pleasant. You know, you're older than all of them, but still in the swim of things. Honorary capacity, but all expenses paid. Life
All right.
is very kind.
Now, what we're trying to do here is quite simple. We're attempting to formulate a policy on an approach to making recommendations for terms of reference for the inquiry into
Never use one word when six will do.
To put it another way, should the Foundation's support be weighted in favour of feature films with overseas sales potential?
Oh, you lovely girl. Oh, you peach.
Which, of course, will include minority groups such as ethnics, Aboriginals, and women. How does that sound to everyone?
Oh, God.
Dorton?
Excuse me, Bill, but I'd like to hand round a short statement written by my producer, Jude, on this question of categorising half the population as a minority, where films are concerned.
Buttocks like a boy. But, oh, those miraculously unsupported, unsagging mammaries.
But the feminists are. And since most women's films are made by feminists, then we have to place them in a minor category.
First, you prevent us from functioning. Then, when we do, you tell us we don't adequately represent the repression.
Better forget about Dinah this trip. Well, you can't think about two women at once. Smacks of promiscuity.
Women's films in a separate category. That sort of evaluation seems sexist, and it certainly doesn't help women.
How is one to take seriously a view expressed in verbalist sentences?
Listen, old mate. If you've ever been to the movies, you may have noticed that film consists of images, right? Unless it has a spoken commentary, most of the words are dialogue, which depends more on a sensitive ear for the way people talk than on a theoretical knowledge of language structure. Eh?
You little spitfire.
And don't agree. We'll talk about it later, right?
How's old Hobbs Milton these days?
Well, still trying to live up to his name.
Can never make it. Do you remember? There are 6 intellectuals in Australia. I know 5 of them, and none of them are women.
Yeah, I was very embarrassed for you.
Really?
Yeah.
I found it quite inspirational.
Coming to the pub, Anne.
No, I thought I'd eat in the restaurant downstairs. Dorton?
I think I'll tag along to the pub.
Be careful of Con. She's a dyke.
I beg your pardon?
A dyke? A lesbian.
I wonder what sort of letters a dyke would write. Not verbless ones, I trust. I've almost no acquaintance with women's films. Not only should I have, but I'm genuinely interested in what people like you are thinking. Perhaps before we see your film tomorrow, you might prepare me with a little conversation about your ideas and goals.
Look, I don't go in for the personal lobbying bit.
Well, for you, I fancy the end might justify the means. You know, I have the impression that you are a woman of outstanding ability. Tell me? If I can be of any assistance at any time, please don't hesitate to write to me.
What kind of assistance?
Well, I know a lot of people.
Look, we work as a collective. The fact that I'm mucking around in the Film Foundation is considered compromising.
Why should it be?
Well, it's thought that I might split from the collective, you know, go off on some kick of my own. It was agreed that I tried, and look where I am now.
I do look where you are now, with much appreciation.
Oh, you mean the garb? That's part of the compromise, you know. This goes with this.
That's rather masculine. But on the other hand, the feminine facts have not been entirely obscured.
Feminine is a word we don't use.
It's a word I use.
Ah, look, I know I'm wasting my breath on you. You're beyond the age of change. I looked you up in Who's Who. We don't bother with men, except for revolutionaries, and even then we're negotiating over a barbed wire fence.
And what are you thinking now, Constanza?
I'm thinking you're hung up on words, and the only reason I'm here with you is because you remind me of my Danish grandfather.
Oh,
Oh, you're not a bad old bastard. Neither was he. Let's go.
Yes. Let's go. An apple for the teacher.
Thanks. I'm going this way.
Dalton?
Ursula?
Dalton Serry.
Ursula Penhindle. Must be 20 years.
Oh, more.
Good heavens. May I? Poems from the Greek, translated by Ursula Penhindle.
I just thought I'd like to see what it looked like in a real bookshop.
And I shall do more than look. I shall buy. Why haven't I read any reviews of this?
Poetry takes time, if it's noticed at all.
Dear Ursula. The squirrel as ever, advancing, retreating. You know, you wrote me the most delicate and literate letters I've ever received. Tell me, is there any good reason why you can't have dinner with me tonight?
Can you chance us to my room, please?
Girls were made to love and kiss, and who are were made to love and kiss, and
Go for your life, Dalton.
It's charming. There was only one place for us tonight. Do you agree?
Oh, yes.
Snap.
Snap.
Would you let me suggest what we might eat?
Of course.
You have such a timeless air of quality, my dear. I want to order something traditional. Now, if you agree, I shall order consommé,
sole, followed by roast beef, thinly sliced, and Yorkshire pudding.
I don't mind. If we both have the same, I won't have to worry if yours is better than mine.
My dear Ursula, I hope you've never thought what I have is better than that which you have. What a clumsy sentence. Now, I want you to tell me all about yourself and your book, which, if I was with anyone other than its author, I should be itching to read. And shall do later on tonight, much later, I trust. And that wasn't much better. She looks like a tropical fish in a tank. Or is she just hungry?
Are you ready, sir?
Yes. We'll have consommé, followed by tropical... followed by sole, followed by roast beef.
Thinly sliced.
And Yorkshire pudding. Thank you. To my first love.
First post-marital love.
Tell me, Ursula, have you... I don't quite know how to put this. Have you found fulfillment? I wonder if she's still a virgin.
When my sister Margaret died, a friend of mine from the school moved in.
Oh.
Girlfriend.
Oh.
You did rather leave me dangling, didn't you? I don't think you ever intended to marry me, or even sleep with me.
I've never been in the habit of deflowering virgins. Except for my wife, that is.
I'm not blaming you. I just think we were both products of our conditioning.
Don't use that jargon word. We're all products of free will. You know, you should have taught in university.
When I got my first at Oxford, I assumed I would.
I did mention your name. Several people you may remember.
Yes, you did rather raise my hopes in that area too, didn't you?
This is not turning out as I'd hoped.
Oh, but it doesn't matter. I've watched your career in philosophy with great interest, wondering when your book would appear.
Would you care to dance?
You think we should try again?
Why not?
Dancing is for mating. We're not going to mate. Oh, Dalton, don't get out. You're tired.
Of course I'm getting out. Wait for me, driver.
Thank you for taking me to dinner.
Tell me about your bedroom.
My bedroom? I'm going to have it redecorated.
Write to me.
What could you do at a university anyway? Because I was a girl, I reckon. Oh, that's what I reckon anyway. So, I left home. And moved into this relationship with a guy.
What am I doing here?
Used to drink a fair bit.
Will these images on plastic in any way add to the cultural life of Australia?
And I moved into this refuge.
Perhaps ask this lot to consider whether we're not consuming more than our fair share of the Australian pie.
And that's when I got interested in the house. It's a really good place to work, with all your mates, no pressure, and you feel really good about yourself when you're relining brakes or something. You feel sort of part of something worthwhile, you know? The others come from all over the place.
I suppose that's what breasts were designed
I'd
for.
like to have a baby too one day. Feed it and that.
Seems a waste, really.
That's my aspiration.
What did you think?
I should state my views publicly.
I must say, Con, on seeing the film for a second time, I'm even more impressed with its depth. One of the things I most admired was an almost epic quality in bringing together so many different women's lifestyles. All without the use of dialogue, of course, which would have required a greater budget.
And a knowledge of the Queen's English. Sorry.
I feel the collective subject matter needs extending, but I'm sure this will occur naturally as time goes by.
Women her age should preserve themselves or disappear.
Would anyone else like to make a point?
I thought it was a meaningless effort. Jumpy, grainy, amateurish.
The impact of getting it up is uncomfortable. But I'm prepared to accept it on the grounds that it's getting women out of the home and into the workforce, alongside men, where they can be politicized by its injustices.
I disagree.
Propaganda. No plot, no characterization. I had the impression I was watching a film extolling the virtues of the People's Republic of China. The happy worker, the carefree slave. Shouldn't we be trying to release men from boring, repetitive work in ugly surroundings rather than pushing women into the same dehumanizing condition? Shit. I mean, how will conscription of the fair sex into trade unions assist in their liberation? Mind you, I was rather taken with the lady tractor driver.
There had been 17 of them all those weeks ago, before they had challenged the land. Now they were 3. For Burke and Wills, the path led forward, the way was set. For man was born to try and try again. The challenge was made, and the land answered. There would be a reckoning. There is always a reckoning.
They reduce everything. A man's ideals, aspirations. Men are destined, designed, condemned to reach out. Reach and overreach.
Drop me at the end of this street, please, driver.
I hope you won't regret this, Dalton.
Dinah, at last.
Coffee? Tea? Wine or brandy?
I just want to be very close to you. Brandy and soda, please. Tell me, that beautiful dressing gown, was that put on when you knew I was coming?
No. No, I was in it anyway. Long day. Showered. Kid fed. Pen on desk. I thought, will I change? And then I thought, why? There I was. And here I am. How are your meetings going?
Equivocally.
Don't they always?
Oh, how very endearing and old-fashioned of you.
Your hair's quite lovely.
Oh, it's quite stiff.
You've got something you want to tell me.
I have approval for my PhD.
Oh, excellent.
My thesis topic is Domestic Skills in Rural Australia 1900 to 1940.
Fascinating.
Peripheral.
Dalton, you come within my period. If you can tell me, as far as you can remember, your mother's methods in the words she used, I can quote you as a source.
Quote me.
Can I interview you on tape?
I'll consider the matter. Why don't you write to me about it?
A thesis on housekeeping? I'd be laughed out of the department.
Dinah, I can see you're having a peak experience, and no one could be more pleased for you than I am, but... Darling Dinah, if we must talk, please, talk to me.
I hate to be obvious, Dalton, but I am talking to you.
Talk to me as a woman to man. I've just seen the Burke and Wills film. It put me in the mood of needing you somewhere warm, safe.
I see. So you want the full seduction?
Wanton. I don't know what you mean.
I can't do it, you know.
Dinah, you're a wonderful, warm, generous, unexpected, darling girl, but my life lately has been ascetic. Such a banquet as you seem to be offering me might turn me into a ravening wolf.
You are a wolf.
Sheep's clothing, surely not.
Steady, Dalton. Could I manage her after a kiss?
Not a wolf.
I found a thing to do, and all her hair in one long string I wound 3 times her little throat around, and strangled her.
You seem to have faith in some ultimate good. I think that's perhaps why I love you.
You love me?
Yes, love you.
You don't mean that.
Oh, Dalton. It doesn't worry me that you're married.
It doesn't?
No, I'm not looking for a husband or trying to take you away from your wife.
Oh.
Surely you realize that.
Dinah, darling girl, I think I better go.
You think you better go?
Yes.
Cute. One of the most apparently able and intelligent human beings I know, and the most confused. Shit, scared. You write me lucid, and if I may say so, suggestive letters. Setting things up for a full-on encounter when what you really want to do is keep it in the mind. Something to think about in aeroplanes.
Who does she think she is? Georges Sand?
You write me letters and ask me to tell you my thoughts, then when I do, all you want to do is hitch up your skirts and run for it. You actually prefer it in writing, which, if you ask me, is a pretty perverse and totally dishonest way to conduct an affair. Now take a good look at yourself, Dalton. Try applying a bit of philosophical reasoning to some of your weird ideas about women.
Women don't come into the realm of philosophical thinking.
Really? Why not?
They're with us on another plane, so to speak.
Oh, really? Higher or lower?
I can't cope with this tonight, I'm sorry. I just cannot cope with this. I bear too many scars already.
Scars? Do you want to see my scar? Surgical, cesarean. Take a good look, Dalton. A new line of inquiry.
Dinah, my dear, would you call me a taxi? I should have brought a proper book to read. This man's sex life is a joke. Ludicrous. Adolescent. Hello? Yes? Who? Oh, yes, yes. What, now? Yes. Yes, all right. You'll have to give me a minute or two. Thank you. in! Hello.
This is my producer, Jude.
The inventor of the verbless sentence.
Yeah. She's come for her remedial teaching.
Come in, won't you? Please, come in. It's very good of you to call on me, even at this very late hour. Ah, what can I offer you?
Oh, we'll just start at the front and work our way back, eh?
Oh, I could make tea.
Oh, no, this'll be right.
I'll get another glass. You must excuse my appearance. I was on the point of retiring. Are you hungry? Hmm? If so, I could order something. Sandwiches, perhaps.
I hear you didn't think much about film.
Well...
Ah, but he's kindly offered to assist us with our next one, in spite of his dislike.
Then that offer still stands.
Good.
I don't know about Skinny there.
We thought we'd give you a little insight into what it's about.
Oh, fine. Fine. You know, in my admittedly male-dominated world, my knowledge of the women's movement is, I must admit, rather hazy. Please, go ahead.
Relax. Have a drink.
Thank you. Oh, dear, this is very remiss of me. Would you go for something else? Maybe you'd like some wine.
Our major statement is that after weaning, women never have a breast to suck until they find each other.
Get out. Get out! Stop it!
What, both of us?
Beth.
Beth? Beth? Beth?
You don't think of me as a woman anymore. The operation's made a difference. Admit it. I'm not attractive to you anymore. Can't you understand? I feel like you'd feel if you'd been castrated. You selfish beast.
Beth? Light on in darkest Africa.
Are you there, dear?
Yes, of course I'm here.
All right, dear. I won't disturb you. You all right?
No, I'm not all right.
What's the matter?
Well, you knew I was coming home today. I've been here since this morning.
So early. What have you eaten?
Nothing.
Oh, dear, what a pity. Now I've just had tomato soup and scrambled eggs with Mr. Butler off.
And who's he when he's at home? A defector from the Bolshoi Ballet?
You know perfectly well he's my plant man. You said you don't care what I do when you're away. As a matter of fact, I go to his nursery 2 or 3 days a week.
Goosey, goosey gander. Whither shall I wander? I think I'd go for a walk.
Should you, if you're not well? Shall I come with you?
You'll excuse me, I think I'd like to go on my own. If women are only people, slipping and sliding, clutching, clawing, where is sweetness? Where is light? Where is enchantment? Rest? Where is the opposite of myself and other men? Where is the good?
Would you like your mail, Sador?
Thank you. I'm a rational man, yet I cling to the ancient idea that the soul is divided into 2 halves of opposite gender, each one flying round the world searching for its other half. I shall continue to search for her with ardor and with caution. And by letter. Mm. 4 seeds from a big green apple, shove them up your arse and feel the tree of knowledge grow. Love, Con. Oh. What's wrong? It's not your ticker, is it?
No. No.
I'll drive you home.
No. The enemy is within our gates. Take care.
I don't think I should let you go like this.
Curse their popping eyes. It's all right. It's all right. Oh, dear, what can the matter be? It's all right. Two old ladies locked in the lavatory.
Where were you?
Oh, I came home early to cook you a nice dinner. I'm going to the meeting tonight.
Oh? What meeting is that?
We're having a national ballot to elect office bearers for the Federation of Native Plant Growers Associations. By telephone hookup. Isn't it amazing what technology can do?
Isn't it? You've had your hair done.
Oh, yes, well. It's the annual meeting, and I've been asked to say a few words.
You don't look like you.
Well, that's no loss, is it?
Sharp today, aren't we?
I've been nominated for president.
And what makes you think you might get elected?
Well, I was secretary for some years, and I started up the newsletter, and I've written pieces for the magazine. I'll be very proud if they elect me. And I hope you will be, too.
Proud of you?
Yes.
You're my wife. Of course I'm proud of you.
Oh, but for some other reason.
I see no need for any other reason.
Oh, really, dear, you are obtuse.
Oh, I thought I was rather acute.
Well, acute from an obtuse angle.
Oh. First of all, I'm an old fogey. Then I'm an obtuse old fogey. Yes, well, a lot of organizations want a title president. We all know where yours comes from, don't we? 4 seeds from a big green apple.
To be of no account. Tolerable.
Oh. It has been a halcyon summer. We've come here since I was a girl. I tramp for hours along the sand on my own. I love the sea. As I walk, I find only one thing lacking: you. I do not think I have ever been more astonished than when I looked up and saw you standing on the cliff waving a striped towel. It was like the signal for the end of a siege. It is hard to conceive of such happiness as sinful, but we are not Hollywood stars. Your wife's neuroses must strain you to the limit. I cannot help wondering about the consequences if we should try to marry. Do allow me some time to think. Yours forever, Ursula.
Dear Mr. Siri, thanks for your remarks on my essay. Oh, do you really think I have a mind? I'm walking on air. Yours sincerely, Winnie Armstrong.
Please read my novel and tell me what you think. Yours hopefully, Jess. When this you see, remember me, Rosina. Wish you were here, Susan.
God, it is said, made man in his image. It is possible that man made God in his image.
Tell me, Miss Armstrong, what are you most interested in?
Sex
and politics.
Why did you choose to study philosophy?
I want to have a basis of pure reasoning before entering into either.
My dear Anne, no one could doubt your capacity for thinking. But then, of course, you are an exceptional woman.
Whatever has happened? Since I accepted your proposal of marriage, you have looked at me as if you did not like me. I am as miserable as a bandicoot. If you feel you've made a mistake, you only have to say so.
The National Library will never have these.
What are we thinking of? Largely through my own weakness, I think I have a broken heart. I can only bid you goodbye, my love, and wish you well in all you do. Ursula.
I'm becoming more and more interested in being in nothingness.
You should not, I think, underrate Jaspers.
We had some good talks, didn't we, Master?
Dawson? What are you burning in there?
Superseded notes.
Not your book.
What book?
The book you were going to write.
Oh, that book. Are going to write. Are going to write. Are going to write! Well, I am.
Well, howdy, partner.
Dawson, I'm due at the nursery for a few hours. Would it interest you to come with me?
Nope.
Then how about having a little lie down while I'm away?
How about having a pink fit?
Dawson! If you lay a hand on me, I will leave this house and never come back.
When may the punishments reasonably be expected to cease? Hmm? Oh, I see. Going on for a while, are they? Are you by any chance the prince who was turned into a frog? So you won't talk, huh? I hate women. I've always hated women. Yes. With a deep, ineluctable ferocity. So, to you.
Suzanne's a wonderful man.
Landslide against Sir Dalton Sané. Read all about it extra.
Out of running for Olympic Sunday Games. See?
Perhaps you know these words. They've often been a comfort to me. In a dark time, the eye begins to see.
Yes. Yes. It is a dark time. It is a dark. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Drusinda. Oh. Drusinda. Haven't seen you for such a long time.
Dad, George and Kim and I were here on Sunday.
Sunday? Last Sunday? Really? What on earth are you wearing? You're not contemplating running away and joining the circus, I trust. Oh, God.
I wish you'd stop indulging yourself because you feel threatened by Mum's getting a bit of recognition.
Oh, you think I need a little lie down too, do you? Just because your mother's been elected president of the Plant Potters.
I think the fact you say Plant Potters proves how much you want to demean her.
And the fact that you object to me saying Plant Potters proves what I've known all along, that you, in common with the rest of your sex, have no sense of humor. Very nice to see you.
filing a report, are we? Do you remember the story of the prince who was turned into a frog?
No, I only remember the story of the prince who was turned into a grasshopper.
I have a very clear recollection of an illustration showing a frog with a crown on its head. St. George and the dragon. The boy who might not go west. Tom Thumb. The picture story of how we get wool. Last week beheld them full of lusty life. Last year, in beauty's circle proudly gay.
You will do your game at Kim's party, won't you?
Certainly.
But don't make it too weird.
Why would I make it weird? I shall need a plate of red jelly and 2 cream puffs.
Richmond Hill, there lives a lady who she is. I do not know. I'll go and court her for my lover. Will she answer yes or no? Oh, no, John, no, John, no, John, no.
Dalton, sports clothes would do, you know.
Green grow the rushes home. What is your 12? 12 the 12 apostles, 11 the 11 who went to heaven, and 10th Ten Commandments, 9th by shiners, 8th the April rainers, 7th out in the sky, and 6th the 6th by walkers, 5 the symbols at your dawn, 4th the gospel makers, 3 the rivals. I'm going out of my mind. It has its fun side.
Name the political party at present in federal power. Question number 2. Who wrote Aesop's Fables? Question number 3. What does E equals MC squared stand for?
Every year he asks them questions they can't possibly answer.
And finally, why was the prince turned into a frog? Was he turned back again? And if so, by whom and how? Excusez-moi.
I want to red one.
Home in your arms for 30 days. If nobody claims me, I'm yours. You met my brother, he plays the harp. We'll all be playing the harp soon. Do you realize that?
Dad, boring.
Oh, good afternoon.
Lady Sari sent me. I won your competition.
Oh. Would you care to sit down? Did you get all the answers correct?
All except the last one. You didn't give an answer for that.
And what would your answer be?
Well, it was kinder to turn the prince into a frog instead of killing him. I don't think he was turned back again. You see, princes are not really necessary anymore.
You know, you're a very intelligent young lady. And what would you like to be when you grow up?
I always find it difficult to answer that question, you see. I don't really know yet.
It's funny. Neither do I.
George, hi, wife. My wife and daughter, sorry. Sir, daughter,
I'll get you for this, George. Good afternoon, Madam Mind Doctor. What, no desk for you to hide behind? Oh, I see. Sit down, relax, have a nice little chatty booze. Where's the tea? What kept you? Aha, coffee. Very bad for the nerves. Well, now, let me tell you. Those misfits who employ themselves unraveling the fabric of other people's lives will find me not amenable. I hate women. May I be excused?
You are not unique, Sir Doughton.
Oh?
That limb you imagine you're sitting on is densely populated.
You married, Madam Mind Doctor?
No.
Celibate?
No.
May I be excused?
No.
I'm not imagining anything.
One of the features of crisis is a feeling of being different and alone. You are not alone.
Wish I was.
I won't keep you long. You didn't want to come and you'd like to go. That's accepted. I simply want to give you something to think about before you do.
Just being given something to think about. Thank God. You were saying?
You were taught to hate women, at the same time needing them. And you find yourself in a world where women no longer accept that hatred as a compliment. I sympathize with your dilemma. The contradiction for men of hate and need produces a crisis, even in the most intelligent and sensitive of men.
Thank you.
Believe me, it is widespread.
Just one of the herd, eh? Measles, mumps, chicken pox. I'll bugger you, Madam Mind Doctor. Now, may I be excused?
Yes, you may. You said you wanted to be alone, and I think you should now.
Why?
To experience the crisis you are in and to eventually pass out of it.
When is the pass-out ceremony?
Oh, we have a sense of humor, Doughton.
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, my apologies. How do you wish to be addressed?
By letter.
In conversation?
Professor.
Then I shall see you tomorrow, Professor.
I doubt it.
Would you like to go to your room, Sir Doughton?
My room? Where's my family?
I left your suitcase for you, sir. And it's in your room. I'll take you there now.
Good God. I've been dumped.
There's a dance tonight, sir.
Really a dance?
A Dixieland jazz.
Dixieland jazz?
And a group discussion in the library.
Good.
A very good film on self-healing.
Self-healing?
I doubt if there's a cure for that.
Rather walking through a fallopian tube. When do we get to the uterus? Thank you. Oh, yes. Yes. The padded cell. Well, thank you very much. You've been very, very kind.
Have you had dinner?
No, I don't believe I have.
Get yourself settled in, and I'll see if I can get you some.
Thank you very much.
Where have you come from?
I've just escaped from the loony bin. Good evening.
Would you like some tea, dear?
Thank you.
How is he?
I'll come through and you can see for yourself.
It's piling up a bit. People are wondering where he is.
He told me to tell you that he's working.
On what?
On himself. I'll bring you a drink.
How are you?
George! George, would you do me a very great favor? Scram. Don't look so worried.
I am worried. I have a very real and very great respect for you. You taught me how to think. I know we don't see eye to eye on politics, but somehow you were always there as a man in charge of himself. I wish you'd have stayed at that therapy center.
Oh?
I don't want to heavy you, but you seem to be depressed.
Oh.
I don't know what it's about, but I do know that a lot of people these days are a bit deranged. No reflection on them by the collapse of Western capitalism. Without overt violence necessarily, I'd say that within our society the decay is pretty well established and could occur on any level. Even yours. That's all I wanted to say.
Good. George, I am taking a short holiday, not at the therapy center, oh no. And I intend to write my book. I've been through some amazing experiences lately, George, and
I knew you were going through something.
I'm on to something, George. Every single one of us, including you, wants to be a man of letters. And when my book is published, I shall be.
I don't want to be a man of letters. I want to change the system.
Of course you do. Of course. We all do. But when the chips are down, you'll want to be a man of letters. George, have you ever written me a letter?
No. But I will. Gladly, if you want me to.
Don't, George. Don't ever write me a letter. Women. Introductory.
Everyone has more rights to you than I have.
It may not last long.
She'll be labouring for days.
Oh, unlikely with a second child. It's a very strange prospect, I must say. I don't know that I relish witnessing our daughter giving birth, and in the company of in-laws, camera recording the whole thing. Our emotions, too, no doubt.
You've left the light on in the cupboard.
Still, if she wants us there, I'm willing to go.
Well, I am not.
It's up to you, Dalton. You can see the movie.
Wifeless again. Good morning. I beg your pardon. Good afternoon. Today, I hate women. Today, we will begin by considering the statement, I hate women. An eminent psychotherapist, fully qualified, with whom I am personally acquainted, states that many men hate women. But if that is so, I am one of many. If the statement, I hate women, has meaning for me, it may have meaning for other men. It may also have meaning for women who are the objects of that hatred.
or who would like themselves to say, I hate women, or I remember having heard certain women say that. It almost persuades that everyone hates women. Men like men, women like men, but who likes women? What? What do I mean by women?
We don't bother with men.
We don't bother with men except as revolutionaries. Women are those creatures born with vagina, uterus, ovary, and the rest.
Admit it, you no longer find me attractive.
Admit it, you no longer find me attractive. There may be some among you who find that definition unsatisfactory. Nevertheless, women are those biologically equipped.
Would you like to see my scar?
Would you like to see my scar? We will come now to an analysis, consideration of the word I in the statement, I hate women. I
followed your career with great
interest, wondering when your book would appear. I was worked upon by powerful influences. Firstly, my parents. They were severe, both products of our conditioning, but their severity was mitigated by love of learning, a disposition towards the selfish beast, which they endeavored to inculcate in me, along with respect for hard work. They believed in corporal punishment. Next, we do a film on domestic violence. They believed in family loyalty. Princess.
You were taught to hate women at the same time needing them. Never made it.
May I be excused? And God is not female. No. The source of life is male. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. The creator of the universe is male. The supreme Lord of existence is male. The supreme arbiter of requests made in prayer is male. And the final judge will be male. I should not have married. She was not clean. She ran with blood, tears, passions. She laughed, she cried. She was both animal and human. Instinct, not mind. I hated her. I'm hungry.
Yes, I expect you might be.
Well, shouldn't there be dinner?
I came to tell you that our daughter has had her baby. We have another grandchild.
Oh, good. Good. Everything all right?
You should have been there, Dalton. We've had 4 children, and I've never really seen one born, nor have you.
No great tragedy in that.
Dalton, it was extraordinary and wonderful to see a child actually born. You would have been proud of Jacinda as I was. If you'd been there, you would have seen what she had done, what I had done.
Well, do go on, my dear, when you can.
In surroundings so much less sympathetic, so lonely and threatened and uninformed. It was as if we had to fulfill Genesis and in sorrow bring forth the children.
Do I reject the reproductive process? Do I?
It's
animal and vegetable.
Involved.
Instinct, not mine.
Our own and each other's and everybody's births. There was no separation.
Could mind and instinct be one, not separate?
It's a girl. Dear little girl. We had champagne, a party, something to celebrate.
Good.
They're calling her Mary.
Mary?
An old-fashioned name for such an advanced couple.
Yeah. Mary, the unattainable ideal. Can't be both virgin and mother, can we? Hey, Beth? No, they'll have to think of another name. Flora, perhaps. Yeah.
Oh, Dalton, you over-fastidious prig. Here you are about to write a book about women, and you actually choose not to bid your own daughter's confinement.
Dalton?
I burned them, Beth. And they're still there. They're still mine.
What is it? What are you doing?
Something very valuable.
Dalton, I can't take much more of this.
You know, an old acquaintance of mine once counseled me to apply my philosophical reasoning to my ideas about women. You know, she was absolutely right.
Come into the house.
They all wrote to me. Brave, tentative, humiliated. And I destroyed them. Why? I invited them to make me the receiver of their intensities, and then I refused them. Why? My God, what a fool I've been.
Yes, you have been, Dalton. You have.
Women have been very good to me. Perhaps now I can do something for them. Many men hate women. Why? Subtitle, A Critique of Western Myth. Because it's just possible some damned Yankee might be in the field ahead of me. I'll bet my bottom dollar that the writer, if any, is not a male. Thank God for my super-colossal memory. Every letter carbon copied up here. Every writer, too. Alone, at last, with all my women. It'll give me great pleasure to liberate them. I shall expose the whole sorry story of the distortion of women in fiction. Their victimization in print, from Pandora to Tess of the D'Urbervilles. I shall also have a list of acknowledgements of every woman who's ever furnished me with ideas. Ooh, be a very long list, won't it? Yes, it will. Perhaps not. No, Beth wouldn't like it. Oh, thank you, my dear. Oh, Beth, I'm afraid I shan't be able to spare the time to accompany you for the Christmas break this year. Perhaps you could go with George and Jacinda and the children. Hmm? Would you mind? Beth?
Dalton Surrey is recovering.
I think I'm feeling better.